The topic of fertilizers can get really complicated, but there is some basic information that I think is important for beginning gardeners to understand. Plants require certain nutrients. A lot of them are provided to them through the soil. Some are in large quantities and are fairly stable in most garden soils. There are a few macronutrients or essential plant nutrients that are things that we need to add on a more regular basis for some of our fruiting and vegetable crops. The big macronutrients that we focus on when we talk about fertility at a basic level is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, or NPK. And you'll usually see that rating on commercial fertilizers that you purchase at your local garden store. That first number being nitrogen, second number being phosphorus, and the third number being potassium. So in the case of a 10-10-10 product or a 15-0-0, you'd have 15% nitrogen per pound of that product. You also have distinction in between organic and synthetic fertilizers. Organic come from living materials like plant or animal residues, composted manures, composted plants, and those can be a really great way to add fertility to the garden. Compost is a great example. If you make compost at home, that can be a really great fertilizer for your garden. Adding organic matter feeds soil life, and soils have the ability to create nutrition for our plants. Commercial synthetic fertilizers usually have more or less the exact same compounds or nutrients, not as much organic matter to feed soil life, but usually have these NPK nutrients in higher quantities and are more quick acting or faster release. And so the distinction really being in between organic and synthetic fertilizers, organic have more organic matter, have more of the micronutrients that plants need, whereas the commercial or synthetic fertilizers are usually more concentrated and quick acting. And there's a place for both in the garden space. When you're using synthetic nitrogen fertilizers, because of the high concentration in those products, you probably don't need much more than a couple pounds per 100 square feet. But when you're working with organic products that have lower concentrations, especially of nitrogen, you need to use those products in larger quantities, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times as much. But always follow the instructions on the label.